Guys, welcome very much. We have some exciting stuff
We do.
going on. First things first, though. We did this thing called United.
We did.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, it was so good.
It was better than good. It was great.
It was.
Yeah, and we had these awesome little magazines, guides, what have you, printed off there. It was Miller's, right?
Yeah, Miller's Lab printed this for us, and it's just an amazing, 40 pages of goodness written by our speakers and styled shoot leaders that were coming to United, and it had fantastic articles in it, but we wanted you all to get to have it too.
We liked it so much, we wanted to put it on the internet, where things live forever. Yeah. Don't make mistakes on the internet.
And we put more in it, didn't we?
Yes. Oh yeah, we got some additional content because we could only put so much in you could only hold so much weight. So we put it on the internet with additional content. Yes. Added articles from some of our favorite people in the world.
Did. And Field, how can the people watching get that?
That's a great question.
A little like QVC today.
Oh, you wanted me to answer that. I just thought you were asking great questions. If you go to showit5.com, right, and you can sign up to RSVP, there's more on that later. But if you go to showit5.com, you can sign up to RSVP for more information about Show It 5. And then you also get, at the bottom, do they scroll down?
Yeah, they scroll down and they put their email address in. And you'll put your email address in, and then you're going to get an email from us. And it's got the United magazine as a download that you can download. You can read it. I've got it on my iPad, which is a great way to read it. You'll also get our blogging guide, which is 25 fantastic pages full of information for those of you who are trying to blog more for your business, which is really an important part of your business.
Yeah, and that's fantastic.
Yeah. And today, if you put your email address in there, our special offer to you is that we are going to give one lucky person.
Oh, if they do that?
If they do that, if they put their email in and they get on the list for showit5.com, today we're going to choose one lucky person to win a whole year of Show It for free.
Oh, okay. That's pretty exciting.
I love giving stuff away.
Big value.
It is.
So that's awesome. Yeah, giveaways are fun.
Yeah.
So, and then did we have anything else? Oh, we had some guests.
We have some people.
Yeah, that's what we had. I thought you were just tuning in for that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I thought you were just tuning in to hear about the guide.
No. I don't think that's why all the people are here this morning.
We have two guests live in studio. We changed up our studio a little bit.
We did.
But we have two amazing people in with us, Mr. and Mrs. Jordan Demos. Welcome.
Hi.
Hey guys.
Welcome.
That was the officiant for the first time introducing Mr. and Mrs. Jordan.
Oh, we should do the cheer then.
And then we throw rice at you. And then
we should have gotten some things to throw at them. Because this is an exciting day. Welcome, you guys. There's a big reason you are here today joining us.
Yes.
What are we doing today, guys?
We are celebrating the launch of our new brand.
I love that you guys are still holding hands, by the way. I don't know.
They're holding on for dear life.
There we go.
That's awesome. And you actually are wearing your brand colors. For those of you who have gone to their website, amyandjordan.com, they are decked out in their new branding colors today.
Had to be on brand for Jen Olmsted,
On point, right?
That's awesome.
We have a third guest.
We do, yeah. We're gonna
be joining us soon.
We're gonna bring Jen on in just a little bit to talk about the branding process and what you went through. But we just want to say congratulations. We are so excited for you. You guys are one of the first to launch a Show It 5 site, which is a really big deal. Not just for you, but for our team here. We are so excited to just start this with you.
Oh, thank you so much. This is something we've been waiting for such a long time, and we're so it really feels like Christmas.
It is.
I feel more excited than Christmas.
Tomorrow's December 23rd or something like that. So
that's how it feels.
I'm terrible.
We'll
at
have to put a
calendars.
tree in the studio back here.
So for the viewers out there who may be tuning in just because they love the internet and finding random things, who are you guys?
Well, I'm Jordan, and this is Amy, and we are a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Scottsdale, Arizona, which is just outside of Phoenix. And today we are launching a brand new website. Amy and I were high school sweethearts who dated all 4 years of college and got married 1 month after college graduation, and we started teaching elementary school in next door classrooms. Amy taught 4th grade, I taught 5th grade, and we had this wedding photography business that we were building on nights and weekends, and today, we have been full-time for 2.5 years, and we are launching our first website since going full-time.
That is so exciting. And you guys did a lot of work on curating a brand. And so this looks quite different from what you have. It's just a complete evolution from where you were. You worked with designer Jen Olmsted to do this. Jen lives on the other side of the country.
Yes.
So I think we're kind of curious to hear, how did that whole process go through with branding your site and choosing all of the great things that are on it? And you can actually see the site. It's up live at amyandjordan.com. and you can check that out. So talk to us just a little bit, you guys, about what sort of got you started on this brand new brand and this brand new site.
Well, when our old Show It site is one that we loved, one that we were really proud of because we built it ourselves, we designed it ourselves from one of those blank screens. And so we were really proud of it for a long time, and it served us really well. But it was also one that we designed while we were still teaching elementary school. And so we feel like in the last 2 years, our business has really grown a lot, and we're just in a different place where we wanted our website to really reflect where we are now. And so that was really how the idea got started of the rebrand.
Okay, awesome. So you went through a whole process, beginning to end, with curating the images, and it's been so fun. Our Show It team has been like checking out the site and seeing all the pictures, and I just love what you guys chose. I love the picture with the donkey. I saw that this morning. Yeah. So you guys will have to eventually you'll go through and you'll find that it's on their site, and it's a picture of a bride and a donkey, and it's just adorable. And I'm sure there's a really funny story behind that photo. So tell me a little bit about the pink and the navy, because you guys you're wearing this.
Well, I think for us, we bought our first home last December. We had been living in a condo for 5 years, and we purchased it. And when we redecorated it for the very first time with our own taste, we were working with Amy's mom, who's an interior designer. And as we were going through and picking out everything that was going to be in the home, from the furniture to the pillows and the accents, we were noticing that I was leaning more toward navy, and Amy was leaning more toward blush.
Surprise,
and so
surprise,
right around the
right?
time we were thinking about starting the process of rebranding, we were also in the process of redecorating our home. And so we really wanted something that felt like us, that felt like an online home because of the way that we were redecorating our at-home home. And so that's really where the blush and the navy came from.
And as we were looking through, even like as we were packing to go see Jen for the first time, we realized that almost our entire suitcase was full of like navies and neutrals and pops of blush. Even Jordan had a little bit in his wardrobe. And so we were like, these are the colors that are all over our home. They're in our closet. They're the ones we gravitate to.
Right.
We love the way that like soft blush pastel looks in the desert, especially here, which is something that we really love. So that was kind of how that decision got started.
It definitely got interesting, though, working with the designer from the other side of the country, because up until daylight savings time happened a few weeks ago, Jen was 3 hours ahead of us. And so there were a lot of nights, especially in the last few months, where Jen would be waking up as we were going to bed. And sometime around 2:30 in the morning, when she was waking up at 5:30 in the morning, we were finishing our homework for the brand, and then Jen was picking up where we left off and asking questions. And so it was kind of like this nice relay race almost, where somebody was always handing the baton to somebody else. So if you are thinking about rebranding, or if you guys are thinking about rebranding, or you're thinking about rebranding, whichever camera I'm looking at, I would encourage you guys to not to look outside of maybe your own area to someone who's a different part of the country, because it actually ended up being a lot of fun.
It did. It became like a nightly ritual to text her. As we were falling asleep, we would always text her good morning with lots of coffee emojis.
Nice.
That's awesome. I love that. And we talked about the colors, but obviously a brand it's not about the colors, right? It's about how someone feels when they come to your site. And I think that's one of the things I love most about your site, is that it feels like you. And it's friendly, and it's warm, and it's joyful, and it just really encompasses you guys. So I'd love to bring Jen on.
Yes,
if we can get Jen on via YouTube, or not YouTube,
Yeah,
Skype.
via the YouTube.
Via the YouTube.
Internet confuses us sometimes.
There's just a
quite
lot
alright.
going on in my brain this morning. Hi, Jen.
Welcome, Jen.
Hey, Jen!
It's good to see you all.
We're so
It's been so
excited
long.
you're here.
It's been forevers.
It's been so long. We are so glad that you're here. We just wanted to pull you in and talk a little bit about this branding process with Amy and Jordan, and they shared a little bit of the idea behind their colors. But we all know, like, your brand is not about your colors. It's about how you make someone feel.
Yeah, if you're reading the comments at all in the section, like in the Show It live chat right now, it's interesting because so many of the key words that we were thinking through as we were developing the site just kept popping in, just like warmth and like making people feel important and making people feel understood, and just like that sense of friendliness and charisma. We wanted something that didn't feel like it was high end and luxurious in an unapproachable way, but we described it as like your friendly neighbors who are next door, but then also happen to be kicking butt. And so like these are people that are like going to sit down and care about you, but they're also going to take very good care of you. So that was kind of the line that we're walking here, is like something that looks super tailored and polished, but then also has that like that warmth and that friendliness and that joy that's kind of the trademark Amy and Jordan way. So those are some of the characteristics that we were trying to encapsulate.
I love that. And JT, if we can pull up the site, I actually want to show those of you that are watching out online what Amy and Jordan's new site looks like. And I love this headshot. This is from Anna Marie Akins, correct?
Yes, she's the best
for you.
Yes.
So beautiful. So there are a lot of questions on your website. I noticed there's a lot of like, are you a photographer? ? There's different places that people can click in and find out more. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, were you really trying to get people engaged with your site?
Well, yeah, one of the things that's really important to us is when we think back, Amy and I have been doing photography for almost 5 years now. And like we said before, we've been full-time for about 2.5 years. And when we look back on our career and the number of people who have helped us along the way, they provided free resources that we were able to learn from home, whether it was a free blog post or a free video download. And all of those things helped us to get from where we were to where we are now. So something that was really important to us on our new site is that we were giving back. And so what you'll notice is when you're on the site or you're on the new blog, immediately you'll see something that says, are you a photographer? And we have a special section on the website specifically for photographers. And if they actually go to that page and click the link, there's actually a free 7-minute video where Amy and I have recorded 5 of our favorite photography life hacks. And these are things that I don't believe we've shared on our blog before, and kind of a few inside secrets that we've kind of learned along the way.
Selfie sticks in the sun.
Maybe. That's the bonus. That's the bonus.
You'll have to watch it to find out.
And so we would just encourage everyone, if you can get to that page and you can click that link and download it, we would love that for that just to be our free gift to everyone who's watching today. And hopefully it blesses them in the way that so many who've come before us have blessed us.
Yeah. And Liz, as you were asking about engagement, one of the things that Jordan and I and Jen really talked a lot about was from our education background, we know that there are so many different ways that people connect and experience, just like students in a classroom. Some of them are more visual and some of them want to have more interaction, you know, a kinesthetic learner. Yeah. So we wanted to really create as many different opportunities for all different kinds of people to be able to connect. And so that's why you'll see lots of different types of ways to interact, whether it's little short, quick lines for people to read that they don't want to read a whole lot. And then we also, you know, Jordan and I both really love to write. And so we do have a lot of text on the site as well, but we have different ways for different people to experience it.
And that's one of the things that we love about the new show at 5 is that it allows us to have these different canvases on one page. So on the Meet Amy and Jordan page, when you go there, right away there's an opportunity for you to read a longer story about our life, and we blog 5 days a week, and we love to write, like Amy said, and so we felt like from our old site we were missing something, and that something was showing the love that we have for writing, and so that's one way you can get to know us.
And when you tell the designer, yeah, we want to include like a 1,500 word, you know, story, Jen handled that like a pro, because that is no easy task for a designer to make that look beautiful and seamless, and she just had the coolest ideas, and almost made it seem like you're reading a book, which we just love that idea.
I feel like, and I think I heard the word epic bio.
Epic bio.
Yeah, like that's a great description of this, because your bio has so many different pieces, but it really tells what your story is. Jen, what was that like when they gave you a lot of text and a big story to lay that all out?
Well, Amy prepared me, and they're like, okay, so we're going to write you an epic bio. And that was kind of the only precursor that I had. Then whenever I was delivered this epic bio, and I was like, this is a short novel, not a bio. But then we're like, but maybe it should be a short novel. And so it was a really fun challenge. I mean, I love to write. I love words. And so getting to play with lots and lots of words and make them look pretty and rearrange them and arrange them and arrange them again. That was a fun task for me. And just figuring out, like you said, like lots of different modules and different ways of laying it out so that people who do have short attention spans, who aren't going to read 5,000 words, they have like 5 words in a sentence and they can just click through and click through and click through. So I think that was kind of key, is just making sure that we structured things in a way that you could choose to read however much you wanted. You know, you didn't have to make it through a 5,000 word wall of text if you didn't want to. But you had that option, and I think people will just get lost in that, and it gives them so much to explore, which is so fun.
Yeah, I love that. The bio is definitely one of my favorite parts of your new site, and Jen is such an amazing wordsmith.
Oh,
that
she really is.
Combined with you guys and your love of writing, I think it's just a great example of who you are, right? Why would you want to hide that when you can put it out there?
One of the funny things about working with Jen is because she is so witty and she is so clever and she is such a good writer, probably half the time we just left her copy in place. And so she would have some like pithy little comment or a little snippet and she would say, okay, what do you guys want to replace that with? And we would go, no, it's good.
Yeah. Leave it
Perfect.
right. Yeah. Leave it right there. Okay, so the bio is one of my favorite places. What's another favorite part on your site?
I would say for me, the favorite part is our new AJ Bride video.
Okay.
This was a big passion project for us and took a lot of time and something that we really, really wanted to honor all of our brides on this site. We have this incredible community of AJ brides, and this was such a collaborative effort and something that the first time we watched it, I cried like a baby. And it's just something that's so special and something that we're so proud of.
Well, there's a saying, I think it probably comes from somewhere in Texas, but it's you dance with who brung ya.
That's right.
And I think when we think about the first year, we shot 2 weddings. And this year we'll shoot close to 40 weddings in Scottsdale's luxury market. And when we think about the last 3 or 4 years and how our career has transformed and changed and molded over time, we always think back not just to those first brides and those early brides, but all the brides along the way who have allowed us to do what we're doing. And so we just wanted to have some place on the site that would almost be a tribute to them and a thank you to them for everything that they've done for us.
And we also love the idea, they're such a special part of our life that we love the idea of them talking to our future AJ brides and kind of showing them the ropes. Like, what's it going to be like? What can you expect? And so, we threw it out to the brides and asked, we were hoping that maybe like 5 or 6 of them would get back to us. Yeah. And we had an overwhelming number of people get back to us. And it was just, we watched through all the videos and it was just such an emotional experience in a lot of ways, in the best kind of way. And my heart is just feeling so full because I see some of them in the chat and there's just like no better feeling in the world. Hi, guys.
Let's take a minute and view one of your favorite things of the site.
Oh, we'd love to.
We would love that.
Yeah,
AJ Brides, this is for you.
They're in there. I see them.
Hi, I'm Morgan, and I'm an AJ Bride.
My name is Danny, and I'm an AJ Bride.
I'm Vanessa, and I'm an AJ Bride.
I'm Ollie.
I'm Melissa.
I'm Sabrina.
I'm Kirsten, and I'm an AJ Bride.
When you first meet Amy and Jordan, you will absolutely know that you want them to be at your wedding.
They are just as amazing in person as they are on their blog.
You just get like that warm, fuzzy feeling.
They made us feel completely comfortable.
You just want to be best friends with them.
Bring caffeine. It may be the only way to keep up with them.
Something you should know about Amy and Jordan
is they're probably the most adorable couple you'll ever meet.
They're more than just photographers.
They are fantastic dancers.
They really are in love with love all the time. So just get used to that.
The best part about having Amy and Jordan at your wedding
is that they sort of double as wedding planners.
They move like ninjas behind the scenes to make sure that everything is perfect.
And they really will make the day more joyful, if that's even possible.
They'll be the best that you can possibly make for your wedding.
What I love most about Amy and Jordan
is just the joy and the passion that they bring to their work.
No matter how awkward you might feel while posing for pictures, they still manage to make you look and feel like $1,000,000.
They live to serve the people around them.
They are so loving and so caring, and they share every moment of excitement with you.
If you're thinking about hiring Amy and Jordan, just do it. Cross that baby off your wedding planning list and thank them and yourselves later.
They are the hardest working, most outstanding wedding photographers in the business.
If you're thinking about hiring Amy and Jordan, I'm saying do it. It's the best decision possible.
Do it now!
So that's my husband.
The first words that come to mind when I think of Amy and Jordan are genuine and passionate. They definitely love what they do, and it shows in their work.
There's no other word than just joy. I've had multiple people tell me that my photographers didn't stop smiling, and that's so rare because they're on the other side of the camera.
If I had to pick either Amy or Jordan, is this a trick question?
I would pick Amy, but don't tell Jordan.
My little Miss Amy.
You have to pick Amy.
I pick Amy.
Amy.
I'd pick Amy. I would pick Amy.
I would clearly pick Amy, although I might say that my husband would pick Jordan. Jordan did such a good job working with my husband and all of his groomsmen.
I assume everyone's gonna pick Amy. Her personality is a more quiet confidence, but it's so badass. She's the best.
AJ brides are all unique, yet we all share one special bond, and that's the fact that we were all
Part of a community.
AJ brides are fortunate to have had Amy and Jordan.
Blessed, honestly.
The best part of being an AJ bride is the community that you have with all the other AJ brides.
Being an AJ bride means being a part of the AJ bride family.
beautiful photos, beautiful people, inside and out.
It's really something that you can't put a price on.
Amy and Jordan, just want you to know how much Will and I love you.
I couldn't be happier with everything that you guys have done. You may not know this, but the two of you are the reason we value the importance of love and respect in our marriage.
You gave us this wonderful gift of our pictures that are more than just pictures, they're memories for us to go back and relive.
This experience would not have been the same without you. Your kindness and graciousness makes it very easy to love you.
That you honestly did make our dreams come true.
Thank you, and we love you.
You guys are the best. Mwah.
I love you.
That was amazing. That was so incredible, guys.
I get the tears now.
Yeah.
I understand now why you were crying.
Yeah. So, how many brides? Like, what was the?
Oh my gosh! I want to say, how many do you think it was altogether?
It was somewhere between like 15 and I think 25 at some
crazy.
point. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
We felt we were so honored, and you know there were so many who wanted to contribute, but they weren't able to because they were traveling or they were on their honeymoon or something was going on. But we were just so honored by every single one of them who did, and there's nothing to say.
No, I love how real it is.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not, we were kind of chatting about how it's not an overly produced thing. It's just their heart. It's just how they feel. And that is that's so great. And I think that's really going to connect with future brides as they come to your site and they watch that video.
Thank you so much.
Definitely.
I think that's great. Now, we had a couple things to show. I think we should show the mobile because it is fairly incredible. I love the mobile. So take us through it, Jordan. Take us on a walk.
So we've got you guys on our mobile site right now, and I think one of the things that was so important to us is that we wanted to make sure we had a site that responded so that it looked great on desktop, but it also looked great on mobile. And so one of the things that we love about it, like Jen said before, is that the design we feel like is polished and it's clean and it's easy to read and navigate. That was something that was really important to us. And so as we kind of scroll down, you can see if you were looking on the desktop version at the same time on a laptop by any chance, you can actually see that it really goes really nicely and blends really nicely with the existing desktop site.
Let me say, you can also do that in Show It 5. Just a little plug there. So when you're scrolling one, you can see both at the same time. That's coming soon. You'll see that a little bit.
It's an amazing feature. It really is.
And so we just love it, and we love the way that the galleries show up in mobile, and the way that these quotes, they just are changing, you know, and we're able to see them just change right before our eyes. We think that's so cool too, and so we just love everything.
Let's go to Pete and is it Pete and Ashley?
Yeah.
Let's click on Pete and Ashley and let's see. Yeah. Let's see how we do there.
So this is something that was really, really important to us, is the way that the galleries were displayed really mattered to us. And we realized that right now we're reaching millennial brides, and we're reaching brides that are between the ages of 18 to 35. And that generation of bride is used to and accustomed to Pinterest, and they're used to seeing things that are laid out in a mosaic way. And one of the things that Amy and I try to strive for whenever we shoot weddings is to tell a complete story from the beginning of the day until the end of the day. And so from the getting ready details all the way through the portraits at sunset, we want to tell a complete color story. And so we really feel like this allows a potential bride to kind of pull back and get a bird's eye view at a quick glance. What could my wedding day look like if I got married at this venue, if my colors were blush? And there's a couple different galleries for them to experience that, but they're also able to click individual images. So if they want to get a little bit closer and get a little bit larger, they can do that. So it was really important for us to give our user as much flexibility as possible, again, to experience the site in the way that makes the most sense to them, just because with our education background, we know there are all different types of learners. And so that was something that was key for us.
I love that. And that's such a cool feature of Show at 5. And if you are out there and you're wondering, how do I get my hands on this? How can I have Show at 5? We'll talk about that more at the end of the show. We are getting ready to release our beta group, and you'll actually be able to apply to be in the beta, which is really, really cool.
So speaking of Show at 5, we have a Show at design partner here, Jen Olmstead. Jen, what, if we can plug a little bit, what kind of freedom does Show at 5 give you?
Well, I was so excited to be given access, and I just felt like an entirely new sandbox to play in. And so I've had fun kind of moving things around. And one of the things, as you guys highlighted, was just being able to see the mobile and the desktop side by side, and just have complete control. Because I've worked with responsive design before, and one of the things that makes it super difficult is that you don't really have control over what things are going to look like on mobile. So things end up wrapping weird, or like images don't display correctly. And for like this sweet OCD side of me, that is just unacceptable. So I feel like this was just created as a special gift for me to be able to access, because I can say like, no, this is exactly how I want people to experience, both on mobile and on desktop. And so that's been a huge help and a huge upgrade, and something that Show at 5 is doing that I haven't seen anywhere else. So that's been increasingly, I think, as everyone is a millennial and they're accessing it from their phones, that's a huge plus, and something I'm super grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's it. We are very happy that you are playing in the Show at 5 sandbox. We have not heard it described that way, but I think that's really fun.
Welcome to our sandbox.
Everybody's going to want to get their cool toys and go build their own cool thing.
The blue shovel is mine, but you can use it anytime you'd like.
I'll take the navy shovel.
The navy shovel.
Blush.
The blush shovel.
Yeah, right.
If mine can have some thin stripes on it too, blush stripes, that would be perfect.
That would,
Polka dots, perhaps.
A little blush
if you
polka
can
dot.
find it.
That's awesome. So in the chat, did I just see your mom?
Yeah,
in the chat,
you did. Hi, Mom.
That's what you do on the internet and TV.
that.
You say hi to your mother.
I do.
Yeah.
And your mom logged into the chat.
I'm
Which is
so impressed
awesome.
you logged in, Mom. That's amazing.
And if you're out there in the chat and you have any questions for Amy and Jordan, we would be very happy to answer that. And it looks like, Michael also finally got into the chat. It's a tough ticket to get. It is a tough ticket to get, but that's okay.
He's lying. He was at the Apple store.
Is there something new coming out today other than Amy and Jordan's site?
We always find out first from Michael. So.
Yeah. But I did just want to say, like, we were looking at every one of the chats, and I don't know, guys, we're so thankful for every single comment in there, every like, every Instagram comment and Facebook comment, and the private messages and the text messages and the voicemails. We're just so overwhelmed by everything that you've said and the love that you've shown us. And when we see especially Amy's mom in there, and I know that my mom is also watching online, she probably couldn't get a ticket to the
she's
chat.
She's not going to comment.
But
it's okay. My mom never gets into the chat.
But I know she's watching, and I think like one of the things that Amy and I realized is we were talking this week about the last blog post that we would ever post on our old blog. Mm-hmm. And when we think back, I think 4 years ago to when Amy hit publish for the very first time on her very first free blog template, there were probably only 4 people in the world who read it. Amy, me, and both of our moms. And they've been there from the beginning, and they've supported us from when we were little all the way till now. And they were the 2 people in our life more than anyone else who always told us, you can do it. Just believe in yourself and work hard, and that it pays off. And I know that my mom used to tell me all the time when I was growing up that you just work as hard as you possibly can, and then you let God take over and do the rest. And so I just know that they're in the chat right now, or you're watching online, and I know it's probably cheesy to say, but we just want to say thank you to them, because at the end of the day, you know, all the moms who are in the chat right now, who are working moms, who are trying to raise a family and run a business at the same time, they're doing the most important job in the entire world, because regardless of what any of our businesses ever do, when you're a parent, when you're a mom or a dad, that investment in that child is going to be returned to you so many times more than anything that Amy and I will ever be able to do with our business. And so for our moms, and just for all the moms and dads out there, we just would say thank you.
That's awesome. We love shout outs to moms.
Word.
And dads.
Word. Dads are okay. Moms, though, that's where it's at.
Dads are awesome too. And we just saw a little note pop up on the screen. Your blog is now also live. So like the picture is complete.
Wow.
Amy and Jordan are fully and officially live on the internet with their new brand. And I love it. I really love the A and J, the interlocking. It's like one of my favorite design parts.
So
of
we
the whole
cannot
thing.
take credit for that at all.
Jen gets
that was
all the credit
Jen.
for that. We showed up in Virginia for our very first design meeting with Jen, and she brought us into the house, and she was like, I just need to show you something. I've been mocking a few things up. I just want to show you.
This is
And
just the preliminary.
It's just the preliminary. So just don't get your hopes up. We can always change it. And we sat down, and Amy and I saw this A and this J with this ampersand that intertwined. And we look at our old logo, which we absolutely love. The thing we love about this one is that they're connected and they're like one, and that's how Amy and I view our business as business partners and as life partners. And what was so funny is Jen kept saying, if you want to change it, you can. And then we said, Jen, we love it. It's perfect. We don't want to change a thing. You hit the nail on the head. And then she said, oh, good, because I thought it was perfect too.
I was so nervous that they were going to be like, actually, yeah, because I was like, no, this is perfect. Like, don't change it. Please don't change it.
We just loved her whole concept. It was just so we love the messaging behind, and that it means something more than just, you know, a logo, that it actually represents you know, us being connected in our marriage and our business, and it's just so special to us.
And that's just something that we kind of tried to weave throughout the entire site. And I know we wanted to make sure that we came on today with the intention of sharing our site because we're excited and we want to celebrate, but also offering everyone who's listening some real practical, applicable tips that if they're going through the rebranding process, or they're thinking about it, or they just want to make a few tweaks to their site, or they're launching something for the first time. What Amy and I found in the last 4 years, when we read that first blog post again, it really brought it home for us that in the times in our business when we haven't been authentically who we are, whether that was in our web presence and the way that we were writing and the way that we were captioning social media posts, our business slowed and ground to a halt. And in the times that we've been exactly who God created us to be, and that was reflected in our online presence, in the words that we said, and the things that we posted, in the imagery, that's when we found the most traction in our business. And so I think the biggest takeaway that we could give anyone who's thinking about rebranding is to be exactly who you are, exactly where you are, and know that that's okay. I think so many times in this industry, we look at what someone else is doing and we think, oh my gosh, if I could just do that, if I could just be like them, if I could just have that site or that lens or that camera or whatever it is. And at the end of the day, Amy and I have chased that elusive rabbit trail, I guess you would say. And we've come up short every time that we did. And when we took a step back and we said, you know, why do we exist as a business? And that's one of the things that we love on our site is that we have a section called RY. And it's something that we wrote, it was a while ago. It was probably, it was a Saturday evening a couple of years ago. We had a rare Saturday off, right? A good date night. We went to church and got takeout.
Which we were really excited about to get to go on Saturday.
and we started kind of talking that night about like, what do we want our business to stand for? Like at the end of the day, when everything else is gone, what do we want our business to stand for? And we realized that we want our business to stand for more than just beautiful images. We want our business to stand for marriage, and we want our business to stand for love, and we want our business to stand for us serving our clients in the best possible way we can. And so we love the RY section of the website because it's basically broken into chunks, this blog post that we had written years ago. And that's one of the things we love about Show It, and the way that Jen was able to canvas it is that you're able to kind of take it in little bite-sized chunks. And I think it has more impact than it did when it was originally blogged. And so that's just a tribute to Jen and a tribute to Show It, in the way that, you know, when you have great technology and a great designer and an average writer like I am, you can do something really fun.
Oh, I love that. I think it's so important to be authentically you, and it's how you truly move forward, right? Because you want to be the best version of you, not of somebody else. I think Walt Disney said something like that, which I love.
Something like that.
Denise Karras is in the blog, and Denise had a question.
Hi, Denise.
And
I'm so glad you're here.
We love and adore Denise. I think
We
she
do
was a part
too.
of that like riffing thing that went down, the singing glee thing that happened
heard
at
about
United. That was pretty fun. Denise wanted to know, was there any area of your site as you were working through this that you couldn't decide on, and then like, how did you finally decide which direction you wanted to go? Because it is true, you start with a blank canvas in something like Show It, and you can build whatever you want. That can be a little overwhelming on where to start. Did you guys have any challenges in finding which way you wanted
Jen,
to go?
did they have any challenges?
I was trying to think, you know, it was funny because I felt like there were so many things where it was just very clear. And this is probably my tip and my advice, and this is probably solves some of what Denise is talking about, is if you can always have a rubric that you go back and consult whenever you have a design dilemma. And so you look back and say, what are the goals that we're trying to achieve? Like, what is the look and feel that we're trying to achieve? What are the feelings that we're hoping to convey? And so much of the time, most of those design decisions are made by consulting that again and saying, okay, so who would this appeal to? Or like, wait a second, is this going to get our ideal audience? Or does this say like refined and tailored but approachable? No, it doesn't. You know, that doesn't have the right fit. That's more corporate. So I think that there were several situations where we said, okay, like, is this the right fit for us? Like, is this where we want to take this? But since we had such an established kind of set of branding rules that we could just apply, it made those situations happen much less frequently, and they were resolved a lot more easly too.
So Rachel McLeod actually just had a really good question too, and it can kind of be part of the same. Where's little audio? I can hear myself, which is really terrible because I don't think I can. But anyways, Rachel McLeod had a great question about if you are a wedding photographer and you also do portraits, like how would you showcase that on your site? Because I think going back to your brand, like it's hard to say, well, this is who I am for weddings and this is who I am for seniors or whatever.
Well, you're not different. You know, that's what I would say. You're the same person shooting. It's your same vision that's capturing weddings and the same, whether you're capturing seniors or portraits or, you know, I was talking to Hope Taylor last week and she's kind of at that same crossroads where she shoots weddings, but then she also shoots seniors. And I was telling her the same thing, that people are hiring her because of her, like her eye, of her persona, of her brand, of her vision. And so I think the more that you can make it clear that you don't shoot either of them differently, you take care of them differently because they're different clients, but you're the same person capturing, it's the same brand. So when people come to me and ask me, like, do I need to have a separate brand, you know, a separate website for this part of my brand? I would say only if the brand itself is very different, then I think it's wise. But otherwise, I think it's a matter of just making it true to who you are and who your brand is overall.
Yeah. So like if you were shooting dog yoga, for instance,
dog parties,
and then
we've done that. You can Google it.
If you want to find out if the blog is working, you guys can test the blog for us right now.
It's pretty far back.
Go into the search field and just type. Never mind. Jen is giving me the no. Okay. But the one thing I did want to say, I think it's kind of fun sometimes when we come on and we present this polished final version of something that started as a blank canvas. And I know Denise's question this kind of relates to it, is that one of the areas that we didn't get stuck with that we had to work through was actually the original logo. And so one of the things that we were working through was we knew that we wanted to have 3 words that describe something, but we weren't sure what those words were. And we wanted it for an aesthetic reason, right? For balance underneath the words Amy and Jordan. But we couldn't decide, are these 3 words that describe our shooting style? Or these 3 words that describe us? And originally we had 3 words that described our shooting style and the way that we like to photograph clients. And then when we kind of sat back, we realized that we feel like there are 3 things that we're known for, and that's for being photographers, educators, and high school sweethearts. And so we wanted to stay as true to those 3 things as possible, because those are the 3 things that we really want people to think of when they think of us, are those 3 words. And so we included it there so it had a place of permanency, so that every time that logo flashes up anywhere, it's very clear right away that we're those 3 things and that we're also from Arizona. And that's something that we're really proud of, is that we are in a really unique state. The Sonoran Desert only exists for the most part right here in Arizona. And so we have a really different canvas, I guess you could say, to work with every time we go out to shoot. And that was something that we really wanted to kind of pay tribute to and kind of honor. And so throughout the website, in the blog, you'll see a lot of the desert feature because it's something that we love so much.
And just going back to what Jen said about how you're always going back to the same things, that really helped us set the tone and really helped us block out, okay, we're going to have, our photographers section, and we're going to have, it just really helped us organize it in a way that made a lot of sense and stayed really clean and consistent.
Yeah. It becomes a guide once you have that rubric.
Yes.
I feel like Jen may have been a teacher too.
Rubric, I know.
Using the word rubric.
Speaking our language, Jen.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's so important to have that guide, and then you can tell, does something fit or does it not?
That's right.
Does it follow along with our guidelines that we've made, or does it not? So you guys, I just love it. I'm really excited about it. I want to go and play with it more. I want to look at it on mobile, which is so fun.
I'm gonna go play with it more too. We're gonna have a lot of fun doing that. By the way, I love seeing, if you guys went to United, like Caroline Jarvis just popped up and she's like, I got to meet you all at United. And it's like, no, we got to meet you at United. That was so much fun. Like, you're an awesome person. So
and there's Jordan's mom.
Let us know.
My mom's in the chat, and that's my niece Olivia in the costume. She's so cute.
She was a little chick.
She was
for Halloween.
Just tiny chick.
That's so cute.
And the one thing I guess that we would want to say too, I know because Jen's here, we're going to kind of dote on her for a second, is that one of the things that Amy and I feel so fortunate is that we've had the experience of taking our own show it site and designing it basically from scratch ourselves and building something that we were really, really proud of.
Yeah.
And now we've had the experience of going through that same process with a designer who's guided us along the way, and it's also something that we're really proud of. And so one of the things that we do love about Show It is that regardless of whether you're doing it yourself or doing it with a designer, and we think that, you know, at different times in your career, there's a different time and place for both of those things. We can't even put a price on what Jen was worth, not just in her design expertise and her talent. She's a one-of-a-kind talent as far as design goes. I think that's kind of a given. But for us, the experience of working with her was kind of that X factor. And I know Dave Ramsey always says, we love Dave Ramsey. He says, you know, whenever you're working with a professional,
He's actually in our favorite things.
Find someone with the heart of a teacher. And Jen, I would say, has the heart of a teacher. She also has a heart of gold. And we've never seen somebody who's so multi-talented, where she was sometimes mocking up logos for us with like a glass of wine in one hand, like she was cooking with the other hand. She had the baby on the other. I mean, I think she had like 6 arms at one point because she was doing so many things. Yeah. But Jen, we can't thank you enough. And there are no words to describe how grateful we are for everything that you did for us and your friendship and the way that you walked through this process with us. This would have never, ever, ever been possible had you not been there literally every second of the way. Literally every pixel, every second. And you're probably going to need a break from us for a little while, and we understand that.
But we're not going to let it last for long, because we'll miss you too much.
Yeah, no, one of my favorite, I just have to share this quick story. One of my favorite moments of the entire design process, one, I guess, is we have like a continual steady stream of iMessage conversation that's been happening for like the past, 6 months. It's just like constant. So you could see like our entire life history just in that time. But one of my favorite moments of the entire design process was whenever I was in Texas on vacation a couple of months ago, and I was waking up really early to work. They had stayed up all night. And they're like, we just finished the AJ Bride video. And can we show you? And I'm like, yeah, you can show me, of course. It's like 5 a.m. I'm in bed. And they're like, but we want to watch you watch it.
The things you say on the internet.
So they FaceTimed me while I was watching in bed, like just woken up at 5 a.m. and I'm like watching it, and they're just watching my face like this, just like watching to see the emotions, like whether I liked it. They're like, what do you think?
And then at one point, Jen, I think you froze at one point, and your face was stuck, and we were like, wait a second, does she like it? Is she horrified?
She's really into it.
So anyway, so that probably doesn't speak well of client boundaries, but.
So I'm gonna FaceTime you at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Good luck.
But it was definitely one of the most memorable moments where I was like, oh my gosh, I'll miss this.
It's definitely a process. You guys must be exhausted too, right? Like not just Jen, but you guys, because it's so much, it's emotional and you're up late, and it's just the curating process can be really intense.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that we love the most about this entire process, we probably haven't slept in about 36 hours. We actually at one point got into shifts where Amy slept for like 90 minutes last night, and we timed it on the REM cycle to get her as much energy as possible. This is a normal thing. And I stayed up to make sure that if Jen needed anything, we were available. But one of the things I loved is not too long ago, as we were kind of getting down into the design process, at some point in the design process, and at some point in anything you do in your business, you have to set a target. And you have to set a date, and you have to decide we're going to go. And I was reading a book within the probably a month ago or so. I started a book, and it was about Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and the first astronauts who ever landed and walked on the moon. And as I was reading in the first chapter or so, Neil Armstrong describes basically telling his wife about 6 weeks before they were supposed to land on the moon that not only had they not practiced landing on the moon, but they had no idea how in the world or how in space they were going to land on the moon. Yeah. And Amy and I at that point had a revelation where we said, you know what?
We didn't think the timing was coincidental.
Right.
He was reading that.
We said, it's time, right? Like, we need to set a date. We need to launch. We need to push. And what it did is it kind of forced us and propelled us to do two things. One, it focused us. We had like Gazelle-Like laser intensity on getting this launched. And the other thing is we came to accept that nothing is ever going to be perfect. And I think one of the things that we've realized in our business is that something that's probably held us back a little bit more maybe than others is that we sometimes get too perfectionistic. We want things to be just right. Yeah. And I think that can be a really good thing, and I think it can also hold you back. And so this really forced us by setting a date. We even kind of codenamed the website two things. One, it was called Apollo 11 for everyone who was helping us work on the site, Apollo 11. The other is that Jen actually has an espresso machine in her house, and if you've ever seen the Penelope Cruz commercial, she kind of like, in a very like sultry way,
like, sultry.
Looks and she
Lots
says,
of like whispering.
right,
Yes.
it's like Nespresso. And so we also...
Do you guys want Jordan to do that again?
No. we nicknamed our Dropbox folder where we were putting all the stuff for the site Operation Penelope. Mm-hmm. And so it was this funny thing back and forth where we would say, okay, I need you to go into the Apollo 11 folder, and then inside Operation Penelope, that's where the JPEG is for this section. And so kind of the point of that, I guess...
So if the NSA is listening, they're incredibly confused by what's happening.
Yeah. So the bottom line is, whatever you're doing in your business, I would encourage you that if there's a project that you wanted to get done for a long time, set a target, set a date, something that's realistic, but something that scares you just a little bit. I know Sam Fox, who owns a chain of restaurants in the Phoenix area and all over the country, said, as an entrepreneur, if you don't wake up every morning with a full dose of excitement and a little bit of sweat and fear on your upper lip, then you're in the wrong business. And for us, that was kind of the story of the last month, is that we were just rocking and rolling.
Well, and what's funny is, completely unrelated to your site or the launch or Show at 5, Jason and I were having a conversation about something like that earlier as well. And he said that he was just watching a documentary on Saturday Night Live, and Lauren Michaels said, we don't start when everything's ready and we're perfect. We start at 11:30 on Saturday night. Like that, we don't wait until it's perfect. That's
when you go.
We don't wait until we're ready. We start at 11:30. Like that's when we start. And I think when you set that time, you have to be pretty intentional about, whether you're ready or not, here it comes.
Yeah.
So, 11:26 may have happened today.
We appreciate your patience hanging around while we got all the technical bugs worked out today. We are so excited for you, and we are really excited for you guys to get your hands on this. The way that you can do that, again, is you can go to showat5.com, and you're going to put your email address in. We're going to send you two things. We're going to send you the digital version of the United magazine, and we're going to send you the blogging guide.
Yep.
And we're going to send you info about Show at 5, including an application to apply to be in our beta group.
Yeah. So
we're super excited.
We're opening up the beta very carefully as far as how it gets out there. That way we can really manage and get people's feedback and all of that on a smaller scale and the build up. Let me just tell you, it's amazing.
I was playing in it yesterday.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get to play in it every day, and it gets better and better every day, and I love it, and I can't wait to start sharing that experience with our Show-Teers and soon-to-be Show-Teers.
Yeah, you guys can start building something really cool the way you guys have built something really, really amazing that's authentically you, and I love it. I'm so excited for you. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations, Jen. Well done.
Hey, Jen, get some sleep.
Yeah, you deserve some sleep.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. A nap tomorrow sounds great right now.
It does. A nap at any time sounds great. But before we go, we actually had something else that we wanted to say that we didn't say at the beginning of the show.
Yes.
We like to choose a Show-A-Tier of the week every week here on showatlive.com, and we chose a Show-A-Tier of the week this week, Miss Jessica Wong. She's actually local here to Arizona, Jessica Q Photography, and we just love and adore her. She's someone who also loves the desert, who takes advantage of this beautiful Sonoran desert that we live in. It's sometimes advised to wear boots, right? Like, you want to watch out for the jumping.
Into one to make cactus.
Ask Caitlin James about that one.
Have you experienced the jumping cactus?
Oh, all the time. Yeah. I'm constantly backing up into cacti. Yeah.
Well, and also, so you can read a great article about Jessica on showatier.com. So the same place that you're watching on here. And we would be remiss if we didn't mention, we love to feature our fellow Show employees here also. And this week is one of the oldest Show employees, not by age, but by tenure here at Show, Mr. Aaron Griffey. And none of this would be possible. I mean, he's our lead developer. He's one of those guys that can read a book faster than I can talk, and he knows so much. Anyways, he's fantastic. So go on showtier.com and check out this great article. There it is on our amazing man behind the curtain. He's like the Wizard of Oz, except with 10 sometimes for knowledge.
Oh,
amazing.
Aaron's awesome. He's an awesome man. He's got a wonderful family. I love
really
his
does.
wife Kylie and his little boys, and it's really fun to. I love reading the articles, and I work at Show It.
Yeah,
It's
right?
really fun to see all the different articles about all the different people. And congratulations to Jessica for being our Show It Tier of the week. We love and adore you. And if you are interested in being a guest on Show It Live, we would love it if you would apply right here on showitier.com/live. There's a little button that you can apply to be
right
on
under the
right
vids.
underneath. You can apply to be on the show and go and have fun looking around Amy and Jordan's site today. Make sure you sign up for showit5.com. And next week, Chris and Dee Robinson are going to be on the show with us. We just love and adore them. They are based out of Sacramento, California. They are wedding photographers, and they're going to talk about how to create the perfect successful is probably a better word, a successful marketing workflow, and how bridal shows actually fit into that, because they used to do a lot of bridal shows, and that was a huge part of their business.
They're amazing at it.
And they're really, really good at it. And so they're going to talk about workflow next week, so we hope you'll tune in at 10 a.m. Pacific time for that version of Show It Live.
Yeah, and if nothing else, they're just unbelievably awesome people.
Such great people.
Yeah, follow them on
the cutest
everything.
boys in the world.
Yeah. Great people. Well, guys, can't wait to see you next week. Have a wonderful week, and go check out their site. Check out showit5.com, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. As a photographer and creative, you don't just get to be the photographer and creative in your business. You have lots of challenges that you're dealing with. You're the accountant, and you're the marketing manager, and you're handling social media, and you're helping your clients. And sometimes in juggling all of those challenges, it's easy to look for the easy answer, and then you just end up losing what makes you and your business truly unique to you.
8 years ago, photographers could either hand code a website or settle for a template used by thousands of other photographers. At Show It, we rebelled against that concept and set out to build software that would allow photographers to build their own unique website without having to know a line of code.
Since Show It's introduction, we've seen mobile devices take over the market. Last year, we introduced the first completely custom mobile designer, and now we've taken that to an entirely new level.
For over a year, we've been hard at work reinventing the Show It platform from the ground up, taking some of what we've learned and introducing some key improvements.
With so many screens and devices on the market today, it's essential that your website respond and adapt to any size. But we didn't want to sacrifice your design creativity simply to make your website work on every device.
With Show It 5, you can create a completely unique experience on both mobile and on desktop. And best of all, it automatically syncs between the two sites whenever you make a change. This is the first product on the market to have this kind of technology, and it completely revolutionizes the entire experience.
We've had a vision to seamlessly blend the power of WordPress with the drag and drop freedom of Show It. And now you can design and customize your WordPress blog right in Show It 5.
We want your site to feel alive when viewers scroll through it. With Canvas Views, you can now add another dimension of interaction to your site, all without a single line of code.
When we get to talk to photographers and creatives about using Show It 5, they are so excited to get this tool into their hands because it solves so many struggles. Being able to design on the responsive canvas, being able to design a WordPress blog without needing to know a single line of code, and being able to use the Canvas views that are really truly unique to them is going to be such a cool thing to see in the hands of creatives.
At our core, we believe that technology is best when it enhances creativity, and we can't wait to see what you'll create.